Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to my very first showcase video. In this video I will showcase you several custom LEGO Star Wars Brickheadz sets that I found online. Before we get into them, I would like to stress that I did not design or make any of these sets, and even though I tried to look up the source of these sets, I could only find that someone named Will Kirkby probably designed a few of them, but most of them are from unknown designers, but they're not from me. So let's dive into these LEGO Star Wars Brickheadz. First are a duo set. They are a Boba Fett and a younger Han Solo. Of course, there is a Boba Fett Brickheadz set already. It's an exclusive from the New York Comic Con, I believe, and it comes with a Han Solo in carbonite. This is a different one. It looks a little bit more simple, but still it looks pretty accurate. And I really love the young Han Solo, and especially his hair. The whole thing really looks like Han Solo. Next up are Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper. Now, I have to say that I don't really like the Stormtrooper look. The mouth apparatus is too big for my liking, and something looks really off. But I do really like the Darth Vader, and there's some awesome details in here. Except from the overall shaping of the thing, I really like the printed piece that is used for his his machine on his torso. Because every LEGO Star Wars Brickheadz set comes with some unique printed pieces, making it hard to actually design your own. But this is some very clever use of this specific printed piece and the two minifigure hands that make up his mouthpiece. So some very creative design for Darth Vader. A little plain Stormtrooper that looks a bit off, but still the overall look is pretty good. Next up are Lando, Calrissian, and Nien Nunb, and I'd have to say that I like that people, take the effort to build some of the less known characters, especially Nien Nunb. He is not made into a minifigure as of yet. I believe something that a lot of people would like to see, but here they are. I think Lando looks pretty accurate. The hair maybe a little bit too afro, and the mustache looks kind of weird. But he is quite recognizable. Nien Nunb is much more recognizable. I love the use of the colors, even though I have to say that I'm not sure if this color exists in LEGO. But I'm expecting that this was made with LDD design, meaning that this color does exist, or it's just white that is shown as a different color over here. Next up is a duo set again. They are a Imperial Shoretrooper and an Imperial Hover Tank Pilot. And in LEGO minifigures, they are practically the same. At least the helmet mold, and the builder of these sets actually took that and kind of used the same idea. They're almost the same, except for some small details. You can see that the nose piece, as you will, has a rectangular shape with the tank pilot, and a rounder shape with the Shoretrooper. And also they seem to have different guns, and the Shoretrooper has the accurate gun that they have as a minifigure. The overall shaping of these sets are pretty good. I really like the visor on the helmets. I think that was a great look, and that would have looked better on the Stormtrooper that we have seen before. Next up are two more. They are Finn and Rey. Now we have seen Brickhead sets of both of these figures. Finn is in his First Order Stormtrooper outfit, and Rey comes, for now at least, in an exclusive duo pack with Kylo Ren, although we have to see if that still will ship to Europe someday. I think Rey has a pretty accurate look, and I like how they solved the look of the robe that she's wearing with the two 1x3 tiles that she has on the torso. That really makes up for the lack of a printed piece. And I love the jacket on Finn. It's pretty accurate. And I think the hair looks even better than on the original one. So these are pretty awesome designs. The next two are actually some characters that we haven't seen in a while, at least in minifigure form. They are General Grievous and Darth Maul. And I think it's kind of a brave undertaking to try to make a LEGO Brickheadz General Grievous, because there's so much going on in his character. But this one looks okay. It's not great. I like the yellow eyes, the menacing look that he has, but his head seems a little bit off. He's missing some side build, I guess, although I like how the builder took the effort to give him 4 lightsabers and a cape on the back. Darth Maul, on the other hand, is a genius design. The body and the head are very, very plain, but on the other hand, his character is pretty plain. He wears a black robe most of the time, but the head, especially the face, has been solved brilliantly with these quarter round single tiles in red that have been, built into several shapes, making up for the red pattern on his face, and the small 1x1 pyramid pieces on his head to create his horn. So some awesome designs, although General Grievous could have been better. But that's no problem, because the next one is another General Grievous Brickheadz. This is a instruction page, at least that's what it looks like. And I think this one looks way more accurate. I love the round pieces on the side of the head with the curved slopes that kind of angle down. The lightsabers are actually angled towards an attacker, and I just love the general coloring and shaping of this figure better than the one before. Although it is true that General Grievous has a color that is very hard to capture in LEGO. This one is in white, but he's not actually white. The previous one was in green, but he's not actually green. It's somewhere in between, making it very hard to design him, but I think this is a very, very good attempt. Next up is another lesser known character, or at least a character that hasn't been built in minifigure form that much. It's Greedo, and the funny thing about Greedo is that his skin actually has kind of a texture, and the studs on LEGO, perfectly capture that texture in this LEGO Brickheadz set. Now, this sand green figure has a jacket that has been designed perfectly for the original Greedo from A New Hope, or at least that's what it looks like. He comes with a single blaster, but even though he is holding that blaster, we'll just never know who shot first. Next up is another duo. It's Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, like I said before, these two have been released officially by LEGO in a duo pack. These are just designs by someone else who made, the same figures, similar designs. I think they're a bit plain. I like the ones from LEGO better, even though they have printed pieces from LEGO, so that's not a completely fair comparison. But Kylo Ren just looks a bit too plain. Although I do like the solution for Rey's robe and clothes. I think they look pretty awesome. Another duo is coming up, and they are Darth Vader and what I think is Luke Skywalker, or it could be a younger Anakin, but looking at the hair and the clothes that he's wearing, I think it must be Luke. So this is the second Darth Vader in this video, and I like the first a lot more. The shaping of this helmet is just not what it should be. The mouthpiece is missing. I like the simple blue and red tile on the front and the grill piece to symbolize the machinery on his body. But that's basically the only thing that's pretty accurate. I do like the Luke figure. The coloring is just perfectly right. The clothes, the hair, everything is how it should be. It's a bit plain, but that's kind of correct with his clothing. And I think we are looking at a Luke before Vader took off his hand, because both hands seem to be in a light flesh color, even though one of his hands is missing. So that should have been in a darker gray, maybe if this was a later Luke. The next is 3 Brickheadz actually. It's the older Han Solo, it's Chewbacca and Plo Koon. Now why these 3 are together, I have no idea. They don't seem to have anything to do with each other. So let's have a look at Han Solo and Chewbacca first. The older Han Solo is pretty good. I don't like the texture on his hair. It's too studs, too much studs. It's too afro. It's more like a curly hair, and he doesn't have that. It should have been tiled off with some details like we have seen on the younger Han Solo. The clothing is a bit plain, nothing too recognizable, so I don't really like that design. I think it's pretty brave that someone tried to make a Chewbacca, and I really like how they made the legs longer for him, and I just love the design of the ammo belt that's going around his chest. He has his bowcaster, and I think the general coloring and texture with the modified bricks is pretty accurate, so I love that design. Plo Koon, on the other hand, is a very, very hard one to design. Not the clothes especially, but the breathing piece on his mouth and the face, and I think they captured the look of it pretty good. He's instantly recognizable, and something that I would very much like to see in a Brickheadz set, because Plo Koon is a very underrated character that we haven't seen too much in sets. The minifigures that we've had are kind of subpar, so a Brickheadz to make up for that would have been nice from LEGO. And last and not least is Admiral Ackbar. And this is kind of a funny design because he is instantly recognizable as Admiral Ackbar, but for some reason he does look a bit like a French waiter because of the black quarter round tiles on his face, looking a bit like a French moustache. But overall, I think this is a very, very accurate design. I love the small grey insignia on his chest that is supposed to be on his uniform, as we can see in the movie. Most of it is white, but just the shaping of the head, the location of the eyes, it just really makes Admiral Ackbar. And with that, that was the last of these custom LEGO Star Wars Brickheadz. And I'm really curious what you thought of them, and maybe which LEGO Star Wars character you would like to see in an official Brickheadz set. So guys, that was the showcase video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.